Good day to World Bioeconomy Forum followers all around the world. Great to have you with us. Today, we are celebrating another one of our award winners that were recently announced at our forum in Belém, Para-State, Brazil. There are 4 awards this year: Bioact of the Year, Bioproduct of the Year, Bioperson of the Year, and Startup of the Year. Basically, the World Bioeconomy Forum Awards are designed to promote the incredible work going on in the circular bioeconomy to fight climate change and to create a carbon neutral world. Us in the forum are lucky enough to be exposed to a lot of the work that's going on, a lot of the R&D, and it is really, really heartwarming to actually see the amount of work that's going on, all in the fight to keep this planet safe. So today we are delighted to bring you an interview with Cristiano Teixeira, CEO of Klabin, who picked up the Bioperson of the Year award. Klabin is the largest packaging producer and exporter in Brazil and prides itself on its environmental and sustainability credentials. The company can be described as one of the global leaders in the pulp and paper industry when it comes to environmental leadership. Cristiano has over 20 years of experience in diverse sectors such as packaging, pulp and paper, forestry, and processed wood, having also worked in non-ferrous metals, ceramics, and oil and gas segments. That's certainly a varied and interesting career that Cristiano has had. His career at Klabin started in 2011 when he took charge as supply chain director. Cristiano was also executive director of the corrugated board, industrial bags, sack kraft papers, and containerboard divisions. Cristiano has been CEO of Klabin since 2017. Hi, Cristiano. We are delighted to have you with us, and congratulations on winning the Bioperson of the Year award.
Thank you, Marcos. My honor. I'm very, very happy to be here with you and very proud to participate on the World Bioeconomy Forum.
Excellent, fantastic. We will go straight into the questions if you like. Just let people find out exactly what's going on at Klabin and why you won the award. So, can you describe Klabin and where it fits in to the circular bioeconomy?
Okay, I think we could start at least talking about a bit on pulp and paper. And then we come to Klabin, because pulp and paper, we had our moments in our history. I mean, it's a long history, pulp and paper in the world. But I think in the last probably 20 years, the pulp and paper business in Brazil realized that we had to manage the forest in a different way. It doesn't mean that we were doing deforestation before, but that means that we had to manage the way we work with the forest. And in that situation, of course, some certificates that our industry gained in the end of the 90s helped to kind of educate the whole sector in Brazil. And from end of the 90s up to now, we have been investing, all the pulp and paper companies in Brazil. We are investing in state-of-the-art equipment, taking care of not only the technology side of the industry, but also in our activities on the management of the forest. So I know it probably doesn't sound too transparent for who doesn't know the business in South America, specifically in Brazil or in the south of Brazil or center and south of Brazil. But we treat the forest as an agricultural cycle. I mean, all the Brazilian companies, we keep it by legislation the native area. Just to give examples, it depends on the biome, but I think it's important to bring that, Marcus, because probably it's not that clear for everyone, but we have different biomes in Brazil, and the legislation obligates us to keep different areas. So if you buy 10 hectares, if you are in a biome that you have to keep 40, 20, or even 80%, 8 out of 10 as native area, we keep it. So this legislation is kind of strict. It's important information that I think all of you should go and find out how this legislation works in Brazil for native forest. So the pulp and paper respect this legislation in a very restricted way, and the area that we are let's say free to cultivate, we treat as agriculture. So we don't cut any wood which is not planted by us, cultivated by us. It's agriculture cycle. Yep. And as the cycle of the eucalyptus is 7 years in Brazil, and the pinus, mainly Santa Catarina and Paraná, more in the south, it's about 14. We can manage it, the area, cultivating forest as an agriculture cycle. So we are very proud of state-of-the-art technology on the equipment to industrialize the fiber. And later on, we can talk also about package, but just talking about how to transform the fiber. So we are state-of-the-art in transform that, and state-of-the-art in management of the forest. So I think we are in a good path of this industry in Brazil.
Excellent, excellent, fantastic. So can you tell us how you feel about receiving this award, and maybe even why you won? Why do you think you won? Why were people so impressed?
Well, that's a question we should do to people, but but I will try to express my proud okay. I'm very proud. I'm very happy. I didn't expect, and I think that when you are not expecting, it becomes much more special.
Yeah.
And I think our industry, it's not Klabin or myself, definitely it's not, but the whole group of the pulp and paper industries in Brazil specifically. I could talk, of course, about many others in other countries, but we are talking about Brazil and Klabin now. I think we, as I said in the first question, we are learning how to deal with the nature. I know it sounds probably too cliche, but my point is the industry started to consume the nature 220 years ago or 200 years ago, and we didn't know how to behave with the nature. And from this more than 200 years, we have been doing most of the things we are doing close to this. Our behavior is very similar from the beginning. We had evolution on how to treat the employees, how to treat many things, but in nature we didn't learn that much. And I feel that I don't want to sound that we are different from others, but I think the forest industry, specifically in Brazil, we kind of we started to pay attention on that probably earlier than other industries, and it's easy to understand that because if you go to the 80s and how was our image of these companies by that period and compare now we are ahead of any discussion of climate change, bioeconomy, of course. We are there, we are talking about it. So I think what makes me proud is this, when people recognize that we are there, we have a momentum of our industry now, not myself, not only for Klabin, but the whole industry. I think we may take some advantage in a good sense of this good momentum, how to treat and how to behave with the nature resources. So we are, I think, I have been, just to finish, to end my speech now, is I have been talking to my peers. Now it's time not to be shy. I mean, we have to go to peers and explain today how where our energy is coming from. We are cooking a wood. We are cooking the wood from a managed forest where we cultivated the wood. Then we cook that. From that cook, we can produce energy and sell on the grid. So pulp and paper, probably, it's one of the clearest example of bioeconomy. We treated the nature resources in my point of view, aligned with the mega trends of the millennials, consumers, etc. We produce energy, which is probably still the toughest problem that we have in nowadays, considering climate change because of the use of coal, etc., fossil fuels, etc. And we are producing biodegradable products, biodegradable package, which also it's very good for the replacement of single-use fossil products, etc. And even so, the recyclability rates of our products also is very high. So we are talking about one industry where you can analyze from upstream, downstream. In my point of view, we can be inspiration for many others industries nowadays.
Yeah. Great answer. Thank you very much. And also, just to add to that, I mean, the pulp and paper industry is a classic example of a bioeconomy. But then also added to that is that now side streams, which were originally waste, are now being turned into products, which are again biodegradable. I mean, you have your own projects. For instance, you're making your own sulfuric acid, or you will be next year when your plant starts up. Really very interesting how the whole of the pulp and paper industry has become an example for the perfect bioeconomy. I think you're right. It's been a renaissance. 20 years ago, that was not like that. We were not viewed on this pedestal of the bioeconomy. It was viewed as forest destruction and everything else. So absolutely, it's a great industry to be working in, as we know. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So finally here, taking a more general view, how do you see the importance of the circular bioeconomy when it comes to the health of the planet and the mitigation of climate change? How important is the circular bioeconomy in that?
It's central, Marcus. It's central. I mean, it has to be. The synthetic word. It's not gonna happen. Our geography will be different, and we know that.
Yeah.
We have to change behavior of people. We have to change the behavior of the companies. And we need I don't want to touch deeply on that, but I have to mention behavior of people, behavior of companies. It depends a lot on action of governance all over the world. And that's why events where, for example, the World Bioeconomy Forum, events like this and others give us voice to reach probably the governance all over the world. So this combination of behavior of people in companies and the government all of the world also paying attention to that, this combination of of civil society and law. That's why I don't want to go too deep on that, but obligation, it has to find a equilibrium where bioeconomy has to be the center of the discussion. As we have been talking about our industry, many other industries needs to face bioeconomy as a reality. We have much more to find out. We have been studying MFC, gasification of biomass, and the other technologies, which is bringing to be directly and not too general, it's bringing money per tonnage of our product. So we are giving more return to our assets and our investors. And if you take just the R&D information, at least from Klabin, we have invested more and more in R&D, specifically in bioeconomy, because we are very motivated on that. So that's the center of discussion. It has to be, let's say, the top 5 election speech of each government all over the world has to mention bioeconomy. This is when people say green jobs, like they're saying US, or when people say how to mitigate the fossil fuel in areas where it's not solved yet, it's the replacement of fossil fuels, etc. You can take all this discussion and bring it to one center, which is bioeconomy. Yeah. So that's why I think you are very aligned. I mean, the forum is very aligned with what we have to talk now.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for your answers there, Cristiano. Really, 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 once again, congratulations. A very, very worthy winner. And thank you very much for joining us. And I'm quite sure that we will be speaking again at some point.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and all the best.